Oh, we're live.
I don't know. I had to kill the agenda to get this working. Give me a sec. Alright, so agenda. Right.
Does
also,
this record?
yeah, this also records.
Okay.
Right. Also, let's share this with people.
Oh, can I have the YouTube link, Adrian,
Yeah,
or whatever service you're using? Thanks.
we are using YouTube. Okay, so I lost all my updated agenda because I did a hard reset. This is great. Right. Historical queries. Test. All right. Yes. So, do we have anyone? This is not the easiest thing to set up, really. No. So, how are you guys doing? Let's start with that.
Good.
Great.
Okay, so let's start with introductions. I'm Adrian. I'm doing Ethernet and community work. That's pretty much it. I'm currently sitting in Berlin at a conference, so if you're currently in Berlin, let me know. Judd, do you want to go next?
Yeah, I'm Judd. I work on UI and JavaScript stuff. And I'm going to show you the Cosmos UI that we've been working on today. That is my purpose in this call. And I'm in Seattle at the moment.
Rigel, you?
Okay. Yeah. So my name's Rajal. I'm working out of Ontario, close to Toronto. Currently, I've been hammering away at the whole staking logic and crypto economics around the staking for our for the proof of stake system. So I'll talk about that a little bit.
Cool. All right. Yes. Right. We can skip this. So today's call is actually, it's going to be a bunch of quick announcements of what we're currently doing, where you can meet us next, what's happening, proposed timeline, and then it's going to be a UI demo essentially. So the first thing is, if you're planning to run a validator, please approach us. We're trying to figure out how to do this best. So we're talking to people that want to potentially run a validator, set our test center with them. So if you have any remote interest in becoming a validator, just hit us up on Cosmos on the Rocket chat. We're open to pretty much everyone joining. Yep. Besides that, we are releasing, so we'll be having a bunch of meetups from now on. So we're starting first across Europe. So we'll have meetups in Amsterdam, London, Barcelona, Copenhagen, and Berlin. But like in November, we should be expanding this to also North America, so Canada and the US. And there we'll probably focus on Vancouver, Toronto, New York, and San Francisco for now. Maybe Seattle, actually. And maybe Montreal if one of us is up there. Yep. Also, we're hiring like crazy. Well, not like crazy. Like we hired like 2 new people. So we have 2 new people on the project, which are Fabian and Alexis, right? The 2 latest ones. Yeah. And if you're interested in working with Cosmos, shoot us an email at careers@tenement.com. Yeah, and that's pretty much already like a bunch of announcements. Right, can you talk a little bit about Gaia?
Sure. So I can just give you kind of a high-level overview of what I've been working on. The Gaia chain, I don't think we're calling it Gaia anymore. We're just going ahead and running the Cosmos HUD, but we're running like a test net for potential validators to kind of get joined and acquainted with you know, what is involved in becoming a validator, seeing all the different procedures. One of the big things is that, you know, within a proof of stake system, you need to bond your coins to become a validator, and you know, if as a contingency scenario, you need to basically have your coins available under the possibility that, you know, you performed maliciously. Those coins could be slashed. So there's a whole fun set of logic surrounding personally going and bonding your coins, unbonding your coins, collecting and calculating validator rewards, collecting and calculating validator rewards, and commission if delegators want to bond to your validator node. So that's kind of like actually the other very intense piece of logic is you know, if you don't necessarily have a whole ton of coins, but you still want to take advantage of validator rewards and participate in the Cosmos community, you have the option of bonding to an existing validator that maybe for some reason or another you have a little bit more trust in, or any number of validators. You can bond to all of them equally. And yeah, so that's another fun technical challenge that we're pretty much finished on, actually. So yeah, I don't know. Do you have any questions? Like, how can I don't know. I feel like I stumbled a little bit. Maybe I can say it a little bit better.
Oh, I should mute myself. Sorry. Do you have questions? So will maybe this is too early, but will the rewards be liquid or will they be like illiquid? Like, if I delegate to someone, do I directly get the block reward, or is that locked up and bonded as well?
I think that that's still up for a little bit of debate internally, but I'm personally in favor of illiquid rewards. So when you get your rewards, it's automatically rebonded, as the rewards are going to be distributed in atoms, versus any fees that a validator might take would be liquid. This is just my take. There's also other people have discussed the possibility of immediate liquid rewards. So, but yeah, totally valid question.
Yeah, it's and by the way, if any of you have input on this, please do reach out and like tell us what you think.
Yeah, I can see the live chat comment box here, so type away.
Yeah. All right. What's the next? Oh yeah. So on Ethermint, from now on, we'll be focusing on integrating IBC. So IBC is the inter-blockchain communication protocol. It's what allows different chains to talk to the Cosmos Hub and theoretically to each other. So we'll be implementing this, which should probably take the next month or so. And that gets us closer to launch already. And then we will also be working on staking. So how do we make Ethermint itself as a zone secure? Can we leverage the security from the Cosmos Hub? Or do we have to have our own staking token for Ethermint? So these are all some design issues that we're currently wrestling with. But like once we have that worked out, Ethermint should go live with the Cosmos Hub too. Yeah. Right. Do you have like any guys, like if you have anything to add to this, please jump in. All right. Yes. So then actually let's talk a little bit about Tendermint itself. So for Tendermint, the big announcement is that we're going to have an actual long-running testnet going live in the next week, most likely. So this testnet won't have empty blocks. If there are no transactions, there won't be a block. Also, it supports historical validator set queries. So if your application needs to figure out who are the old validators, for example, for a light client, you might need this. You can now do so. Plus, it will be the initial testnet that on which we test staking. Yep. Is there anything I'm forgetting in terms of Tendermint? Yes, you can load test it. Just send in as many transactions as you want. Oh yeah, so we can talk about this a bit. Next things, Guy, we talked about. Judd, do you want to demo your UI?
Sure. Yeah. So the test, Greg's messing with the testnet right now, so I can demo it with like a local testnet. Let me do a screen share. This will be pretty quick, but I have at least one cool thing to show. So the big deal with the UI right now, like the actual, can you see? Okay. So what's up?
I just noticed that the YouTube channel is just kind of stuck on me.
Oh, is it?
I can see it on the Google Hangouts, but not on. Oh, now it's good. Now you're good.
Okay, cool. Okay, it's probably, I think it just shows whoever's like the loudest. So I'll speak loudly, or you can mute. Either way.
Yeah, speak loud.
So here's the UI. It looks a lot nicer than the last time we demoed this. But there aren't very many things that this UI needs to do. So now you can send coins here. I don't have any actual coins to send at the moment, but that works. We've had some test nets going. Like we're sending coins around. Pretty soon we'll push this out, and people in the community can play with testnet coins. That should be fun. So here's what it looks like. You can see your balances. You know, there could be as many types of coins here. This is where your atoms will be, and any other coins on Cosmos. So here's what it looks like to send something. So you just say like, you know, copy this address, put it in here, choose the denomination, send 100 coins, and then hit send now. I'm not going to actually do it. Actually, I wonder what will happen. Oh, denominations required. Okay, yeah, yeah, can't do it right now, but that works. We've been working on some governance stuff. So a lot of our governance stuff is going to happen, and I'm sure in a future dev chat we'll demo the governance UI. But when it comes to actually voting on things, this is sort of what it's going to look like. So you can look at a proposal, tap it, check it out. Okay, I want to vote. Yes, this sounds like a good idea, and then you can confirm your vote, which also won't. Oh, my vote has been submitted. So that'll be for the actual on-chain side of governance. So for staking, for choosing validators after the initial validator set, here's where you'll be able to browse the validators. There aren't any right now, but the UI is all, you know, it exists for this if there were validator candidates. And then you can delegate to them. You can nominate yourself to become a validator. Just fill out this form and nominate yourself, and then that whole process happens. We have a blockchain monitor in here. So here you can see, I think this part of the UI is going to change a lot before the actual launch. But here you can view a specific delegator. So you can view other people on the network. You can sign in. So I mean, it's pretty simple in scope. But we want to make sure we're doing everything right. So lately, a lot of the focus has been on testing. We want to get to 100% test coverage for everything going on in the UI here, and the actual Cosmos SDK stuff on the back end. So we're writing a lot of tests to, you know, send back and forth and sign in and sign out and cover every possible way it can go wrong, because I mean, there's real value at stake from this wallet. So it's really important to get it right. So we're setting up like continuous integration pipeline and automatic code coverage checking and that sort of thing. So it looks kind of cool. I'll actually do this right now. I'll close this and I'll run our test suite. I think this should work. Sorry if it doesn't. Looks kind of cool because it just runs through a bunch of. Do you have a question, Rigel, before I run this?
Oh yeah, I'm just curious, and I noticed a few people in the live chat were talking about this too. Like how does this really integrate in with your private key?
So we don't want anyone actually putting their private key in this yet, but
yeah,
the way I'll show you. That's a great question. So let me open it back up again before I run the test. Just a sec. So this is all open source. It's at GitHub/cosmos/cosmos-UI. So there are instructions in the README there. If anybody wants to play with this, you can go ahead. But please, as it says in the README, do not actually, use the private key associated with your atoms. But you can still play with it. This takes just a sec.
Maybe you can just touch on a little bit.
Yeah. Sure.
We can just also answer. All right, go on. Go ahead.
So you can basically you sign in. We make you type that you understand the risks because if you're going to enter your real private key and something goes wrong, like there's a risk there. So after you accept a liability agreement thing, you just put in your seed words and then there are your atoms. Boom. It's that easy.
Okay, so like you're actually entering your private key onto the client side of this system.
Right. The H to your seed words. Okay, so this isn't. I don't know why this is taking a minute. Let me try just running the test. But yeah, you just enter your seed words. It's a text input. You just boom. That easy.
So are we going to have this
fully
integrated? Right, Jed, are we going to have this fully Hello? Sorry, go on.
Yeah, hold on. Let me show this real quick. So running the test suite is kind of neat here. You'll watch it automatically, run through a bunch of user stories real quick. So here it's typing the wrong agreement. That doesn't work. Now it's typing the right agreement. There's where you put your seed there. This is really fast, but it's gonna try sending some coins. Wait to make sure that we're receiving it. Okay, we received it. Now we're sending to invalid addresses. It doesn't work. I'm not doing this. This is all the test. So I think that's it. So we're focusing on writing tests for every conceivable thing that might happen right now because it's really important to get this right. So that's where we at.
It looks really good.
Cool.
Yeah, Pung's been killing it.
Yeah, by the way, so Martin from Copenhagen asked whether the WAL is still growing without bounds. So with no empty blocks, it will only grow with the number of transactions. So if there are no transactions, the underlying database won't actually grow. Yep. Yeah, so Judd, can you maybe elaborate a little bit on where the private key is being stored right now? Like once you enter it into the UI?
I think it's just in memory, but I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's probably written in a JSON, but I'm not sure.
I think ultimately we're going to want to be using it with a ledger device, right? Like we're gonna ultimately want to say that you don't actually have to put your private key like onto your computer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's actually a really cool announcement that I almost forgot now. So we're working with a really big HSM vendor. Oh, like working with essentially, we talked to them and they are interested in supporting enterprise clients for Tendermint Core itself. So now we're working with them on integrating their HSM devices, their hardware security modules, to be able to sign blocks or votes in Tendermint Core. So we should have some more announcements and like some proper integration with their HSMs in probably around 2 or 3 weeks. So like if you're interested in running a validator, you can store them on really high-grade HSMs. Yeah, that was one thing. All right.
Okay, that was Electron. In case that wasn't clear.
Yeah. Does this work on mobile, by the way?
No.
Okay.
There will not right now. This one won't. That's a separate thing.
You can see now. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. Actually, so from like our side, I think we pretty much we covered most things. Oh yeah. So there will also be Cosmos Academy, which is essentially video series that teach you how to build your apps on top of Cosmos. And how to build apps on top of Ethermint, and that should be coming out in like 2 weeks as well. Anything else from you guys?
Did we talk about anything going on in Cosmos SDK? There's kind of some cool,
cool
design changes happening.
Cosmos SDK. Yeah, just so in general, there is the Cosmos SDK, and we're speccing it out right now. And we're looking for feedback. So if you're interested, please have a look here and like give us feedback on the Cosmos SDK and how we're doing. Do you want to talk a little bit more about it in detail?
Do I? No. Rigel? I don't. I'm not super synced on it, but I just know there's some cool stuff happening.
Yeah, I mean, we're just basically we built this monster, like very functional large SDK, and it was great. And now we're basically respecking the entire thing. So this is like the third pass, and we're really optimizing for usability. So previously there was like lots of focus on functionality, which is awesome and is really good. And now we're trying to maintain as much of that functionality as we can, while also having it be really easy for new developers to get on board with the SDK. So the SDK, for those of you who might not know, is just a standard development kit for if you wanted to, build out your own zone, for instance, on the Cosmos network. And yeah, there's just like all sorts of really exciting developer capabilities in there. We've done a lot of things with permission state spaces, which I'm really excited about. So, you can be pretty confident that your app isn't going to get screwed around by any other dApps. Yeah, I don't know. That's it. We're just getting really into the thick of it, trying to generate something that people are actually going to use.
Cool. Awesome. Are there more questions from the live stream? Because this is a very short one. Well, so we can actually talk about, so we'll be at DEF CON with most of the team. So if you're around at DEF CON, please say hi. We always like to say hi to people. And besides that, we were in Shanghai a couple of weeks, like 2 weeks ago, where we sat on a panel with Cosmos and talked about how Cosmos can solve scalability issues. Oh, right, IBC, yeah. So, and then we also were at CESC yesterday, or last week, which was a conference in Berkeley. So, and of all these conferences, there should be videos up, and if you're interested, I'll try and find them. Yeah. What would you like to know in terms of IBC? IBC. So, generally, does anyone of you want to talk about what IBC is? Maybe Raj?
Okay. Yeah, I can touch on IBC a little bit. I'm not okay.
Just like super high level overview.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just give like a really high level overview of the IBC. So IBC has, as I understand it, has already been developed. We've already got it working within the Cosmos SDK. It's obviously going to keep evolving as the SDK kit also evolves. But the basic premise is you're able to, like, different zones are able to prove to each other what the state of an account, or like what their state was at all to the other zones at a certain height. And from there, if one zone is able to receive a proof that an account has, maybe it has a holding account on a different zone, and if it's able to receive a proof that its holding account on another zone does in fact still have funds in it at a certain height, then it's maybe able to execute some of its own internal logic, or maybe it's also able to execute a send order on the other blockchain through IBC. So does that make sense?
That does make sense.
It's kind of
perfect.
Complicated.
Yeah.
Great.
Generally speaking, it allows you to move tokens between two blockchains in a completely secure way. And we've released a blog post explaining it. So if you're interested, check it out. What kind of dApps are being developed? So they're not dApps, they're Cosmos apps.
They're craps.
No, there won't be craps. Hopefully. So the zones currently we're working on an Ethermint zone and an Ethereum peg zone. And we're talking with and then on top of Ethermint, there is at least one project which is OpenMind. So they're building decentralized AI. We're also talking with a couple of other projects, but we can't say too much about that yet. So we're also looking into trying to build a decentralized exchange on top of Cosmos, and then of course build more bridge zones. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. What's happening in terms of zones right now. Cool. If you guys don't have anything else, I'm out of stuff as well. Then we can call it a day.
Cool. That was pretty thorough.
Yeah, go for dinner.
Go for breakfast.
All right, yeah. Different time zones. All right. Thank you, Judd. Thank you, Rydra, for coming on.
Cool. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see each other in like a month for the next dev chat while at DEF CON.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Awesome, guys.
And feel free to keep the questions flowing on the Rocket Chat.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point. Cool, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.